All right, good afternoon. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah, I even brought in a little, this girl needs some wine. Felt like we were happy hour since it's not 10 o'clock. Welcome, this is our Motivated Moms Meetup afternoon edition. And we are talking today, do you go by Samantha or Sam?
Sam.
Sam, okay, we're talking today to Sam. We've got some other ladies on the line, and as people come on, if you all will just go on and put your names and who invited you here today, they might see that in the chat and follow suit with that and let us know who's listening. So we'll get started, Sam. If you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, who lives with you, that kind of thing.
So I am Samantha, and I am from northern New Jersey. And I've been married for 23 years, and I have two children, one who is almost 23, finished college this year, and then my daughter is 17 and a half and going into her senior year of high school. So yeah, on my family of four, really nice and cozy, and my son is supposed to go to grad school in September, and we were just told that it's all going virtual for a year. So this is going to be a really cozy family for the next year.
Yeah. So did you all finish the school year with online?
My daughter is done as of Friday. This past Friday, she is done. And then my son also finished. He graduated. Yep.
Okay. Well, I am in Lexington, Kentucky, and I've been married to my husband, Matt. We just had our 15-year anniversary actually last week. No, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And our daughters, we have Courtney, who is 12, and Caroline, who will be 8 in a few weeks. And they served us dinner on our anniversary. So that was our anniversary meal at home. And we have a puppy. We have a 9-month-old Labradoodle who is full of energy. And if there was any year not to get a full of energy puppy, this probably would have been it. But she's been fun, and my girls love her. My youngest wants to be a vet. And so they had been begging to get a dog again. We had a beagle before, and so they wanted to get another dog, and I finally, after 2 years, gave in. So, but yes, we finished school. They just finished last Wednesday. Okay. So we did about 8 weeks of online. And it was my middle schooler. She finished 6th grade. She was pretty good with it. And the 1st grader, she loved it. She could get on Zoom all by herself, and she loved seeing her class. So
nice.
Yeah. So that's why we started the Zoom calls on our June Fam Fit group, because I just felt like she was going to miss having those Zoom calls each day. And so I wanted to create something for them. So I felt like that would give them something. And then my older one wanted to do babysitting. So I told her that could be partially like virtual babysitting to put on her resume.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, tell us how you found Beachbody and the workouts.
So I remember it clear as day. 4 years ago, it was summer, and I had just gotten my physical done, and my numbers did not come out very well. Like blood pressure was up, cholesterol, triglycerides, you name it, it was up, and I needed to make a change. I already had done ILD protein, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done all the things that I could have tried and other friends had tried, I had tried. But the bottom line is I never knew exactly what to eat properly. And I'm a mom that travels like all year round. So I'm always on the go. And that is the biggest thing for me, is like I need to be able to learn what to eat outside where I'm not able to cook, and when I'm home, what can I cook? I couldn't find vegetables that I liked. I'm not a vegetable person. So one day I just boggled down, and I had someone message me as I was looking through social media. She messaged me and she said, do you want to try this shake? And I was like, oh, I just did all these shakes. I can't do shakes. Like, they have an aftertaste. They have a bitter thing, like the whole 9 yards. I gave her the excuses. And she said, no, you got to try this. I'm going to give you one packet and you got to try it. And I did. And even after I finished the entire glass, I was still waiting for the aftertaste. And there wasn't any. And I was like, wait, that was it? All right, so maybe it's going to make me feel bad. So I waited all day for this shake to make me feel bad, and it didn't. And what I found is that I wanted it the next day. So I called the girl back and I said, listen, give me a month's worth. That's all I'm going to do. And I boggled down for that month, and I just had the shake. And then I changed. Every week I changed something different. So my thing was nachos with cheese at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, I took my shake and I had it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon instead of having nachos. And within 1 month, I had lost 15 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Just the one change, well, the two changes, the shake and then changing no more nachos for that month. The next month, I said, okay, I need more. What else? What is this all about? She finally sold me on the workouts at home. And I said, wow, so I could work out in my PJs right from home and not get criticized and lose weight. Okay, so let's try that. And I did, but then it came along with a community. And for me, I'm an extrovert, so I need community and I need people. So having the workouts in 30 minutes plus the community, and I had a coach at my hands at any time, and I had the shakes, I lost 35 pounds within 3 months.
Wow,
So
congratulations. That's
like,
awesome.
so in 3 months, that was a huge change for me. So this was it, right? I found the ticket. I found that there was a list of food given to me of what I could eat. There was these containers that I would put in, and that was my measurements. It was all color coordinated for me. And I had a coach that I could talk to like on a daily basis if I needed to. And there was no other charge, right? There was only like this one-time charge and my monthly shake. And I got everything that I wasn't getting from the nutritionist that I already had gone to. I wasn't getting from the personal trainer that I had already gone to the gym. I wasn't getting the dirty looks from being overweight and in the gym and wearing these weird outfits because, let's face it, they don't make pretty outfits for bigger people in, fitness form. So for me, it was an ideal package, right? I had lost the weight. I was getting there. So I went back to the doctor within those 3 months. I got some blood work done because he wanted to see how I was with my numbers, if I had done anything to make the change. My triglycerides had gone down drastically, almost at a normal level. My cholesterol alone was at a normal range, no high blood pressure. My numbers were in normal ranges, except for my triglycerides, because they went from 300 down to 150. And that alone was like, you need to keep doing what you're doing, because I'm not a medicine girl, so I didn't want to take meds. And that was my big thing, is like, I don't want to be on medication. I got to find a way of my body healing itself, or I'm feeding it something that it's going to make it better. And that for me was a turning point. And I knew that I needed to tell the world and tell other people that were struggling like I was the same story that this woman had told me. There was just a simple step of having community, of having a list of foods that I could eat, and just learning day by day what I loved and taking time for me. That was the biggest thing, because I did not take time for me. So just taking at least an hour of me a day was sufficed for me to give that energy that I needed to give back to my family.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm right there with you. I did one thing at a time. My first 3 weeks in the 3-week challenge, I think I actually focused on the workouts first. So I got the DVDs in the mail about 6 years ago, and I was looking to lose the last 20 pounds from having my girls. And I was frustrated. I had worked in a gym when I was in college, like you had trainers, but I still didn't really feel like I knew how to use the equipment. And a lot of times I couldn't pull out the thing to switch the weight amount. And so I would just move over to the next piece of equipment and be like, never mind, I won't do that one today. Or I wouldn't know how to use it, so I would just walk past that one. But I would typically just, if I went to the gym, if I got there, I would just go and walk on the treadmill and then kind of look around and then leave and then go home and have a bowl of cereal or have a bowl of ice cream for going to the gym, because that was a treat. I had gone and walked on the treadmill, right?
Right.
So in that first 3 weeks of doing workouts, 30-minute workouts at home, and just being consistent and doing it every day, probably the only other food change I did was switching out the 100 calorie packs that I was having for snacks. I switched that out with my shake when my shakes came in. And then I switched out my afternoon, again, 100 calorie kind of packet for veggies. And so I lost like 6 pounds in those first 3 weeks, and about probably 2 dress sizes or pant sizes. And that was my biggest frustration too. I work full time outside of the house typically, and none of my work clothes fit. And that was just really frustrating. And so after those 3 weeks, those clothes started fitting again. So I was like, oh, heck yeah, I'm going to do this 3-week thing again. I'm going to go all in on the nutrition. I had read through the information, figured out the meal planning and my containers that I needed to do. And so those next 3 weeks, I lost another 6 pounds and another 2 pant sizes. And then I had to go shopping, which felt really good. And so then I just never stopped. I was like, why do I even need to go back to the gym? I mean, and I love people. I'm an extrovert. I like to be around people, but I also like to get my workout done first thing in the morning. I'm a morning person. So I like to get it done and over with, and I don't want to have to get in my car at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's much easier to go to the basement, get it done. And then when my girls wake up, my youngest will come downstairs. She used to come downstairs in the middle of my workout, like at 6 o'clock. Now she doesn't come till like 7 o'clock, which is better. But it just worked better for me. And I didn't have to spend 30 minutes getting my water bottle, getting my towel, tying up my shoelaces, getting the car keys. It never failed. You can never find your car keys when you're going to the gym. And then like now, to me, I know gyms are just now starting to open back up this week in Kentucky. And I'm like, it's just the germiest place. I mean, I worked there. I saw people, they never cleaned anything. And I know people say they're going to, but that's just my pet peeve.
Well, and I know for us, our gyms don't open until July.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So I am quite happy doing it at home, but I know other people, they've got their routine and they like to do it in the gym. And so when I do travel, I love being able to have it on my phone or on my iPad and still having that trainer there to tell me what to do. One year we were on vacation and I couldn't get the Wi-Fi signal and I had forgotten to download my workout. And so I was like, I'll just kind of remember what I've done and just pick some of my favorite moves. Well, apparently my favorite moves are the hardest moves. I couldn't walk the rest of the week.
Nice vacation.
Yeah. And so now I do group fitness classes. And so now I know which moves to do when. But then I was like, if only I had known that those were the hardest move and not to pair those together.
Yep. Well, and that's my thing too, is that because I travel, the importance of being able to still work out wherever I am is really super important. I used to struggle finding that gym membership wherever I went, and it didn't pan out. It just didn't work for us. And then my daughter, when she was 12 at the time when I started with all this, this was huge for her because she saw me doing this, and she's an athlete. So Quarter Force had just come out, and so did a couple of other programs that actually were the same type of workouts that her personal trainer was doing for her conditioning and strengthening for her sport. And so I said, well, why are we paying so much money for a personal trainer to do this? You could do it right at home. You're just going to take it easy so that you don't get injured, but it's the same workout. Mm-hmm. And so we have saved so much time by doing it here at home and by doing it, wherever we are and getting the same results.
That's awesome. Yeah. So did you become a coach for the discount, or was there another reason?
Nope. I became a coach because it had been so many years of finding what worked for me, and that this was like what worked, that I wanted to share it with other women. So for me, it wasn't about the money at the time. It wasn't about, bringing in extra income. It was really wanting to share it with other people. And that's what my goal has been since I've done this, is I want to share this with other people because it does change your health. And more importantly, when you know that a doctor knows about the program and they ask you, well, what are you doing? I'm doing Beachbody. Oh yes, I know you're drinking this Shakeology. Like they know. For me, that's a validation that they know it's a good product as well. So I just want to share this with the world and not, you know, I wasn't really looking for like a full-time, you know, job on it. I really wanted to share it and improve people's health.
Awesome. Yes. Um, yeah, I actually came in for the discount initially, but I had about 4 friends in one weekend ask me what I was doing. They said they could see changes in me and my confidence and how I walked, and that they wanted me to help them. And so I had come in for the discount initially. But then when they asked me for help, I was like, of course I want to help you. I'm happy to help you, but I can't help 4 people individually. Like I can help you as a group. And I had told my coach before, I was like, I'm not going to do those group things. And then when 4 people asked, I was like, well, no wonder they do the group things. That's logically easier than individually. And so that's when I created that first group. And then I'm like you, it's just, to me, sharing is caring. And why keep the great things that we find to ourselves? I think it's important to share those things with other people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the fact that it changed my daughter, I mean, it came at a time where my daughter was 12. She saw me meal planning. She saw me meal prepping. She enjoyed meal prepping with me. But then, you know, she went through a year where she started getting migraines. And she went through a year where, you know, she had a concussion and the whole 9 yards. And I think that if I wouldn't have learned about the nutrition part, I wouldn't have helped her figure out that her headaches were caused by gluten and dairy. Because I didn't know before 4 years ago, I didn't know where to start with, except I would have probably taken a list from the doctor and would have just gone by list. This actually showed us how to meal plan and prep for her specialty. And she's been migraine free, thank goodness, for 2 years. So they came at a great, great time. It really did. And she drinks her Shakeology. She makes my Shakeology in the morning. It's for us. It's second nature now. It's what we do. And yeah, I think it's so important when we don't realize that our children are watching us and we are their example. And I didn't realize that she was watching me so carefully because she actually preps so much better than I do. Like she does some great meals and it's like, wow, that's really tastes good. Like she just came up with a marinade the other day for chicken breasts because she knows I hate dried chicken breasts. And she found something, you marinate overnight, and it's been delicious. And you know, you don't know, your kids are watching. You might help them out for the future. I know it's going to help her for college. She can make anything in a microwave or on a stovetop. Like she's great at it. That's healthy. So for sure, the kids are watching. That's also something that's really important, I know, for me.
Yeah, same here. So my daughter, my 7-year-old, she typically through the school year would help with fruit prep. And so she would come in the kitchen after my husband would come home from Sam's with all of our fruit and veggies, and we would do fruit prep, and she would put them in baggies or put them in containers. And then that way they could do their lunches and just pull it right out of the refrigerator each day. And here in just a few minutes, I don't know, she may already be in the kitchen doing it. My 12-year-old, I found the ground turkey kebabs that are in the Fix 8-2 cookbook. And so she's going to put those together, and then my husband's going to grill those tonight for dinner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my 12-year-old loves to cook. They both love watching all the cooking shows and the Kid Chef, Junior Chef, Be Our Chef, all those little shows on TV. I like watching them too. Yeah. My mom was actually an extension agent. And so I grew up learning all about the food pyramid and going to cooking classes with her and handing out flyers and stuff. But even when I worked at a grocery, I didn't know one fruit or vegetable from the other. I was horrible with all the numbers. And even today, like when I go in to shop, I punch it in to look it up by the product name, just the general name. But no, my 12-year-old loves to cook, and her my mom and my husband's mom, they're both, I call them both Martha Stewart. They're both Betty Homemaker. And so actually last week they did a Zoom call with my husband's mom and learned how to make her spaghetti sauce. And now this Sunday they're scheduled to learn how to make her lasagna.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how healthy the lasagna is, but now the meat sauce, it was pretty lean, especially considering we use lean meat. But it's just invaluable, you know, these times. And I mean, they live across town from us. So technically at any point we could have gone to their house and they could have done cooking classes. But it's just, you know, the thought process now of what can we do to be together? Let's do a Zoom cooking call.
Yep. Yep. Yep, it's so much fun. I know that the COVID has not been nice to a lot of people, but we've really embraced it here. I know at home because my son is with us. You know, he was away for college for so many years. You know, my daughter's not flying for like around the world for the first time. So we've taken this opportunity to really sit with the family and eat our dinner and make our dinners from home and make new recipes. And I mean, she's running with her dad 2 miles a day. You know, my son is running about 7 miles a day. Like, we are all very health conscious now and realize that this is a good time. It was like kind of like almost a wake up call. I know for us, we like slow it down. Like you're barely at home. And so we're really taking the opportunity to like work on ourselves and take the time to embrace it, really.
Yeah, same here. And even when we get invited to small things, it's like, you know, we'd rather stay home and get this other project done and play a game on the porch. And
yeah,
we might just say no. It's okay to say no and say yes to the family.
Okay. Yep. Finding your boundaries is like something we definitely learned during COVID, because we always would say yes to everything. And then we would have this built schedule. And it's like, wow, it's Monday. It's like we didn't even spend time together. So definitely finding those boundaries and saying it's okay to say no, definitely for sure is okay.
Yeah. Well, one more question. I know I like to listen to books when I'm in the car. I would love to do more reading. And actually, I did just buy a new book. I just bought this one, Alana's You Can Drop It.
Yep.
But in the car today, when I was going to I got my hair done today. That's why it looks so nice.
I'm very
to
jealous.
the hair salon.
I have not. I did get my nails done though.
I was listening. What was I listening to? Oh, it's just slipped my head. Let me look it up. I listened to Audible. So when I was walking this morning, it was Get Out of Your Own Way by Dave Hollis. And then when I was in the car, it was Ask for More.
Okay.
So what about you? Do you have stuff that you like to listen to or read?
I do. I do a lot of personal development. I think that has been a major change in my life. You know, my normal morning routine is the first thing that I reach out for really is my scripture. So I do read my scripture. And then by the time I'm reading, I'm kind of fully awake. I then journal. I journal out my thoughts, what I'm going to get done for the day. And I make sure that I write down what I'm grateful for. And then from there, you know, I work out. I take another 30 minutes for my personal development. It used to be, because I traveled so much, it would take me an hour to take my daughter to school because she's far from school. So it'd be 2 hours of personal development a day. So I definitely listen to a lot of personal development. And I know right now I'm finishing something called Everything is Figure Outable.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Awesome book. And the author, the writer, graduated from my college. So it's pretty cool that, she's, you know, right from my college. And it's a great book. But, you know, depending on where we're at or what I'm feeling, I will listen to a personal development book. Because I'm also reading something called Upstream, which is another great book for people who are small business owners that want to improve on their business, and great time to do it during the, you know, pivot during the COVID. So depending on what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, because I could go through a book in 2 days. I will read or listen to something that I am really struggling with. So when I was struggling with my image, when I was struggling with my food, I read The Goddess Revolution, and that was huge. That was huge. If you haven't read it, it's by Mel Wells. It's a great book. And I even did a whole challenge group outline for this book. Again, it teaches you how do we look at each other and why we criticize our bodies the way we do when we shouldn't, and basically just ensure that we're healthy, and stop looking at it as, well, I could have, we're not Photoshop. There's no live Photoshop where we could Photoshop ourselves, and it really takes us through how we really look at ourselves inside out. And then I had a time where it was so hectic in my life that I did, eat that frog because I couldn't figure out my schedule. Although I'm really I'm a project manager by nature, and I have everything scheduled. I struggled for a little bit to juggle, make sure that I took that hour of the day for me and stop worrying so much about the husband and the child and the house and the laundry and the stuff. Everything else was going to happen as long as I took that hour for me. Because when I didn't take the hour for me, all that stuff wasn't going to happen. Because I didn't have the energy for it. I didn't have a clear mind. I didn't have, the energy in my body to do it. I felt sluggish. So I had to, read and get someone else to tell me, an author to tell me, like, it's okay to take time for yourself because you're going to reward your family with the better you. So I do a lot of personal development. I have so many books.
I love that. I'm going to have to pull that one up.
Yes. The Fearless Leader is another great book that I have read. There are so many. Take Control of Your Life by Mel Robbins. I love Mel Robbins.
Yes. I love Mel Robbins.
Yes. And there's nothing like, and it depends on the person, but there's nothing like Girl Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. She's truly amazing, just like her husband. And there's so many books. You just have to go to the self-help section of your bookstore or in the apps of Audible. They're there. You've got to know what you really want to focus on.
Yeah, I love Rachel's. And actually, when she spoke at Summit, she said, and I know you all don't know this, but I have 3 other books too before I did my personal development books. And after she said that, I was like, you know what? I want to go back and read her other 3 books, even though they're fiction books. Yeah. And they actually have little life lessons stuck in throughout the book.
Yep.
If you really listen to it, which several other books do too. But they were really good. I really enjoyed the time when I was listening to those as well, just to get away from personal development, but yet have it hidden in there.
Exactly.
As well. And that Becoming by Michelle Obama was that same way. It was all about her, but then she puts in all those life lessons that she learned.
Yep.
But it was a story of her life.
Yep.
And The Year of Yes.
Oh, yes. That's another great book.
Yes.
Yep.
So.
And I have to say, I was telling Adina, I went from binge eating, like stress eating, anxiety eating, like just celebrate eating, to content eating. And Adina always asks me, what does that mean? I was like, I eat because I have to eat 3 meals a day, because I used to actually go from binge eating to maybe 1 or 2 meals a day because I wasn't hungry. I was working all the time. I was content, but I learned that my body needs enough calories at certain times of the day so that I continuously lose weight and have the energy that I need throughout the day. So, but I learned this through my readings, like the Goddess Revolution. My readings have taught me how to stop binge eating and to work on me. And I went to therapy for it. I went to a therapist and said, I can't lose weight and I need help. Obviously, there's something wrong with me. And she never said or did or helped me in a way that personal development did and journaling did and my morning routine did. So I always tell my girls, if you're binge eating issues, you need to take time for yourself and do some personal development, because it has changed me and a lot of other girls that I help tremendously.
Yes, I totally agree. Yes, I wake up and do my gratitude statements too. And if I forget them, it just feels like completely different. Or if I don't get my workout, or if I have to switch it, I've had to switch it around a little bit this week. Our air conditioning upstairs is out and the girls are sleeping down in the basement. They think it's fun. It's a big slumber party. But for me, I'm like, oh, I've got to like go take the dog for a walk first and then come back and do my workout. But it worked well because today everybody else did a late workout too. So everybody was on our virtual gym at the same time. So, well, it has been such a great pleasure to get to know you. I really don't think I knew you really at all before this call. So I am excited to watch your business and watch you flourish as we go forward together. I do want to end with a few announcements for those others that watch the replay. We do our daily early morning virtual gyms. There's usually somebody on there between 5:15 and 7:30, either doing a power hour or working out. So we will share that link if you want to join us on the virtual gyms on Saturdays. We get up a little bit later and do a 9 a.m. virtual gym. And then Sundays at 3 o'clock, we've been doing our Permission to Shine series. And this week we're going to be focusing on grilling, which is one of our favorites in our house. Like I said, we're going to be grilling kebabs later. And then each Tuesday we do these meetup calls, and the time we've been doing 10 a.m.s, but I like the 5 p.m. too. And I know for me, working full time, sometimes the 10 a.m. doesn't work, but sometimes, usually I just take my break at 10 o'clock, because just like getting that early morning workout is important, taking those breaks during work is important too.
Yeah.
So, well, it has been great talking to you. I look forward to seeing and meeting you in person at some point.
Yes, we will. We will.
Yes. So I hope you have a good night with your family, and I will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.